cleaning dishes is a joyful act. Hello, my beautiful kindred spirits. Hello, beautiful people. Today, I'm going to be showing you on this cold, rainy New England day how to clean antique and vintage dishes. I did some work, I already took my daily nap, took a shower, got dressed, and now it's time to do some fun chores. Now, you might think washing dishes is not fun, it's not my favorite thing to do. And honestly, that's true. I hate washing dishes, but when your dishes are beautiful, I think it makes it so much more fun, which is why I'm always inspiring others to start collecting vintage and antique dishes to eat off of, decorate with, and have in your home. Because truly there's so much beauty in the items that were made in the past, and I love them so much. So today I'm going to show you how I clean mine. So I'm back home in New England visiting my parents, and every time I'm here, it's just like thrifting galore, antiquing heaven. I've slowly but surely have been adding new dishes into my collection of different designs. I especially love the Victorian era designs that are like the blue and white transferware. I love the red and white transferware. I love Spode China and many other names as well. And so as I've been learning, I want to show that to you guys. So I'm going to show you what I have found on this trip. I've gone thrifting, I'm still thrifting, and Facebook marketplacing. So let me go ahead and show you what I got. First things first is this set right here. I found it literally yesterday, so you probably would have seen it in a vlog already. They're blue with also just florals in like a nice desaturated type of color. I know one of the first things that people are going to say in the comments is lead poisoning. When it comes to buying dishes like this, of course you want to be careful because it could contain lead in it. A lot of the paint and stuff that was used back then contained lead in it, and so it's not the safest to eat off of. However, you can buy lead tests on Amazon. I will link some down below for you, and you can also find them like at hardware stores, and you can take them with you when you're thrifting, or if you have a collection currently that you want to check out. Make sure to test it out. Please do your research because I am not instructing any of you to eat off of lead plates or cups. So definitely do your research and figure out what's safest for you. The thing that inspired me to do this cleaning video was that literally yesterday I bought these, right? And so when I got to the car, I realized that I did not see this in the lighting in the store, but there was like some brown happening here. I thought maybe somebody did lead poisoning when I saw it, but I washed this one today, which looked literally like this one yesterday. And so I'm realizing that these were just used and donated, and I guess we're just like not cleaned. So look how clean that one looks. It's still a little stained because I need to do a proper soak, but a total difference. Scrolling through the shelves, and I came across these as well, and these actually go with the set. So always recommend when you are looking for plates and things at Goodwill, Salvation Army, Savers, that you look at the other shelves nearby, because you might just find pieces that go with that set that weren't put together. Another set that I had been thirsting over are these Martha Stewart plates by Wedgwood. So this is a older collab that they did, and they are just absolutely stunning. Next few plates are blue and white plates, which are my latest obsession. So I found this one. This one's like a little bit different. I really love the design on it, and this one was made in China. And the reason why I love this one is because it's microwave and dishwasher safe, and it's also food safe. A lot of times the dishes won't say food safe. A lot of times they are for decoration, so you always have to like do your research when you're purchasing these plates as well. It's a commitment. It's a commitment, not gonna lie. It's very different from going on like Amazon, Walmart, Home Goods, and just buying plates there new. When you're collecting older plates, you do have to do a little bit of research, but that's the fun in all of it. Last two plates are Thanksgiving plates. A lot of times when you do go to the thrift store, like Savers, they will mark on it and they'll say like, you know, this set comes with 2 for this price, but the thing that they're using is probably like an oil pastel or marker, so you want to make sure you get that off, obviously. So definitely have to soak this. The things that we're getting off are the tags, obviously, but these are 2 Thanksgiving plates that I got only for $2.99, and they are a great piece because these are actually more expensive. And my other favorite thing to collect are little goblets. These are perfect for desserts or drinking out of, and they're just so beautiful and look so much better than a plastic cup or just like random glasses. Like, these are beautifully curated. I have a couple of them. Again, curate with love and knowledge. All Alright friends, let's talk about some things you need to wash your dishes and also the do's and don'ts. When you are thrifting and antiquing for your plates, like I mentioned, you're going to have things on them like tags or written in marker and oil pastels, and so sometimes they are a little bit difficult to remove. My favorite thing honestly to use is the pink stuff. I use it for taking care of my home, but also to clean antiques and vintage goods, and it also does a really great job at removing things like scuffs, marks, rust. It also gets rid of those tags and those written on prices and like amounts. So I highly recommend the pink stuff. This is not sponsored, I wish it was, but it's my favorite thing to use. The other thing that you might be thinking of using is the dishwasher. I do not recommend using the dishwasher for all plates because not all plates are created equal, especially when they are on the older side. If you're planning on using your antiques for eating off of or hosting for parties and stuff, I don't recommend always dishwashing because the dishwasher is pretty intense and it can definitely wear off the print pattern, the glazing, the gold gild. It can get rid of a lot of things, or it could altogether break your china. So I highly recommend doing your research before you put in the dishwasher because if they are old, they might break. But for some of these blue and white transferware dishes that are newer, go ahead and throw in the dishwasher. It's fine, especially if you don't use them like every day. They're gonna last a long time. Hell, a lot of these have lasted in these old people's china sets and haven't been used or touched, and they're still able to be used and not cracked. So go ahead and do what you please. Baking soda and vinegar can clean so many freaking things, and of course, it can also clean your antiques. As for me, the method that I'm using today is just some warm or hot water with soap. We're gonna let them soak, and it's gonna help remove the tags as well as get these dishes nice and clean. First thing you want to do is get rid of these tags. As you're ripping them, you will notice if it's going to rip out clean or not. Obviously this one is ripping off very clean, so it's going to be a little bit easier to clean. And you'll get pieces like that are just very stubborn and you have to like use your nail. I wouldn't use like a knife or something that is like going to scratch the plate. You want to be very careful. But if you can use your nails or just like use your skin, it will come off. If you find that the residue is not coming off after you have soaked it, you can use some Goo Gone. You can also use it before you wash the dishes, so go ahead and use that. If you can't get that sticky residue off, it'll make your life so much easier. If you're finding that the stickers are not coming off, I would not stress it so much because as they soak, this will get super easy to peel off. So just take off what you can and then let it soak, and then I swear to you, it will come off very easily and you won't even have to stress about it. So if that's what's left over, don't worry about it. It's gonna come off as you soak it. Now that the stickers and things have been removed from our plates, we can go ahead and get our water ready. So the first thing you wanna do is of course cover that sinkhole because we wanna make sure that the water stays put and doesn't go down. And we're gonna get some hot, semi-warm water going and just let it start filling up a little bit. And I'm gonna use Dawn dish soap. I'm just gonna pour it in there. I like to do a little bit while the water is running so it can get nice and soapy and foamy. You can also add a little bit later if you want to scrape and scrub. Now we're just getting the soapy water ready so that the plate can have a nice bath. Go ahead and fill that water. Make sure it's not too hot. If it's too hot, just add a little bit of cold water to make sure that your plates do not break, because if it's too hot and your plates are older, they can crack while they're soaking, so you want to be careful of that. And then we're just gonna start going ahead and do a little dip. If your sink is not large, like this one's on the larger side but it's not large enough, you can just do a little dip and then just set another plate over it. Totally fine. They're still gonna get cleaned regardless. Dump them in there. I'm gonna put those three together. Here's another one. And again, reminder, if you have some sticky residue, don't worry, just prop it in there. It's gonna go away regardless. And with the more intricate ones, I would be very careful that you like stack them with other plates. I would even put this like in another bowl or basket that you fill up with water and soap. That way you make sure that it doesn't get hit by any of the other dishes and cracks. With that one, I'm just gonna go ahead and set it on top of the other dishes. Alright, last plate's going in. You can let this soak for however long as you would like. If they are more on the antique side, I would not soak them like overnight or anything crazy like that. I would do like an hour. Even for all the dishes, newer or old, I would just do an hour, 30 minutes. Nothing too crazy. Honestly, we just want to get them like nice and soaked and make sure that all the nooks and crannies have soap and water. And if there's anything that needs to come off, it's gonna come off easily after letting it soak for at least 30 minutes. and all those germs that you might be concerned about. Again, it's gonna come off with the hot water. We're gonna let this soak, we'll scrub them, and then we'll rinse them again, and they'll be ready to be dried and used for years to come. Your dishes are nice and soaked now. It's been 30 minutes. The daylight is already leaving us, so we gotta finish this video. Go ahead and get your sponge, and we're just gonna get to scrubbing. So as you can see, like you would any other dish. When you see dark marks, you can scrub at them, but if they don't come off, it might be because that's actually just a mark that's on the plate. But don't get too stressed out if it's not getting 100% perfectly clean and it has marks and stuff. And like I mentioned, there are ways to get rid of marks, especially if it's like scratches and stuff with like the pink stuff. But as long as it's clean, as you can see, that brown inner circle is gone, which is exactly what I wanted. Let's go ahead and scrub the rest of them, and then we'll give them a good rinse. All that's left to do is dry your dishes. You could let this sit on a dish rack to dry, but I find with older dishes that are pretty, especially if you want to display them and stuff, if you don't dry them by hand, they can have like watermarks and stuff, so I always try to just dry them myself. Otherwise, my plain dishes that I use more often, just get thrown in the dishwasher or wash them by hand and just let them dry on their own. But just like antiques, like ourselves and our skin that is aging, we want to make sure we take care of ourselves. So if you need to dry it by hand, go ahead and do that, or you could just put it in the dishwasher off or in the dish rack, let it dry off on its own, drip off the water, and it'll be good to go as well. I try to make everything in my life beautiful whenever I can, so when it comes to thrifting and buying things like this and bringing it to my home for the first time, I like to just really give it love and like take the time to cherish it for what it is. It's a beautiful dish that will bring many happy memories in my lifetime as an adult, as an elder, and I can also share with others in my life. But really, just take this time to think about things, your life, the beautiful things around you, the people you have in your life, how far you've come, the goals you are working on, and things that you want to accomplish in the near future. And the many meals that you will eat off of these plates that will help give you the energy to keep on going. Because in the end, that's all we can hope for. Another thing that I want you to think about as you are drying and washing your dishes is how you're going to store them. So for a lot of people who like to collect antiques and vintage goods, they do like to display their china in a china cabinet, in a hutch. Some people have like open face cabinets and will display it there. Some people will buy the like tiered plate holders and display them there. And those are things that you can take into account. You could of course just store them in your cabinets, the cabinets closed. But when people are coming over, you want to like show them off. Show off your really cool collection. Give them some love. And prepare to have lovely meals, snacks, and appetizers on them. And so you want to show them off. So really think about how you're going to store them, where you're going to showcase them. This household and this platform, we don't buy china just to like display it. Yes, it's pretty as decor, but if you're going to use your money, make sure you use your money for good, which means you're going to eat off of these things, not just have them on the wall. The other thing I want you to think about is how often you'll be using them. If you have multiple different designs and collections like myself, I highly recommend figuring out the best way to rotate them, because I think a lot of times we'll stick to the same plates, or the ones that we just washed we'll use again, versus pulling the ones that are in the cabinet. Maybe every Sunday you clean one set of dishes that you used that week and then you rotate to the next. The other thing I like to do, depending on how often I use them, is to rotate them. So if one has been on the bottom for a month or so and I haven't used it, I will use that one and put the one that's on the top that's been used heavily to the bottom. That way they're all often used, and that way there's none that are cracking, because eventually if you don't use them as often and you just leave them stacked like this and start to use it more often, like in a few years from now, it will crack, it will break, it'll become fragile. So make sure you're like giving them baths, eating off of them, heating them up if they can be heated, cooled down. That way the structure of the plate is being held onto throughout years. You can make sure that it continues to be used. And if you're not using them, then you can go ahead and gift them to others or donate them, because we want to use the things that we have. We're not just collecting to hoard. And the same goes for the things that you use to decorate walls with. You want to make sure you wash them from time to time, and give them a nice little dusting, because they can become super fragile through different temperatures as they're hanging on the wall. And if you want them to last, you want to make sure you take care of them. Of course, we all let things collect dust from time to time. But if this is hanging on your wall and you're not using it as often, you're not cleaning it, and it's going through the temperature changes and the season changes, it can become very weak. And so it may break on you. So you want to make sure you just take care of it, give it some extra love like you would yourself. Give it a bath. Find the dish set for you, give it some love, give it a good wash, and start using them. I promise you, you're gonna love it. There you have it, friends. Your new beautiful china is ready to eat off of, decorate with, and host some really awesome parties and make some beautiful memories. I'm so excited to use these and cannot wait to share some recipes on this channel and my other platforms with you, and also share memories with others. These plates are absolutely freaking stunning. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. A pretty plate bringing beautiful things into your life every single day makes the mundane so gorgeous, so gorgina. That's it, friends. Cleaning dishes is a joyful act, especially when you are collecting beautiful antiques and vintage dishes. There's joy in cleaning and loving on your antique collection as you're growing it. I'm so excited to have these beautiful dishes in my life, to make beautiful memories with them, and my leftovers look so much better on these plates than they would in the styrofoam. If you want to learn more about vintage and antique things, how to love on them, if you want recipes to eat on these type of things, if you want vlogs, thrift hauls, and all the things that I get up to, make sure you follow along. Also, be sure to follow me on my other platforms, because I'm pretty fun on Instagram and my website. And if you want to shop vintage and antique things and don't feel like doing it yourself, I'm happy to do it for you. I sell things on my website as well as my Instagram, and as we go into the new year, there's gonna be more fun things to come, so check it out and subscribe to my website as well. All right, friends, I'm starving and this plate looks delicious. Bon appetit. I will see you in the next one.